Good morning, children. Welcome to World of Science. Today in this video, we are going to learn about nutrition in 10th class. Today's our topic is nutrition in human beings and also malnutrition. Nutrition in human beings. Nutrition in human beings starts with the mouth and ends with the anus. The whole tube is called as alimentary canal. Then here the steps in digestion. Breakdown of food in mouth by teeth and enzymes in the saliva. Transfer of partially digested food through esophagus. Further digestion in stomach by digestive juices. Complete digestion and absorption in the small intestine. Assimilation of absorbed food. Absorption of water and waste generation in the large intestine. Here in the picture you can observe that the digested food is sent to the liver and then from there it enters into the bloodstream. Absorption. As the food gets broken down into smaller and simpler particles, it has to get absorbed into the bloodstream. It is only through the blood that the digested food reaches various cells and tissues. That means after the digestion of the food in the small intestine, that digested food to be absorbed into the blood. Here in the picture, if you observe the transverse section of small intestine, you can see small finger-like projections in the walls of small intestine. Those are called villi. They line the inner surface of small intestine, and their role is to increase the surface area within the small intestine that lead to increase the surface area of absorption, as it is the main function of the small intestine. Transportation of the digested food from the small intestine into blood is called absorption. Absorption occurs in the walls of small intestine through villi. The small intestine is the organ where absorption occurs. It is specially adapted to carry out this function. Absorption and assimilation. Blood coming from the digestive organs carries simple sugars, glycerol, amino acids and a few vitamins and salt to the liver. The liver stores and processes these substances and also detoxify air. Liver delivers the nutrients to the rest of the body as and when needed. This entire process is summed up as absorption and assimilation. Internally, intestinal wall has a number of finger-like projections called villi. The villi increase the surface area for absorption. Food vessels and lymph vessels are present in the form of network in the villi. Products of digestion are absorbed first into the villi and from here into the blood vessels and lymph vessels. Thus, after maximum absorption of food in the small intestine, the rest passes into the large intestine. Large intestine. Here, most of the water present is taken up from this material. This material is then expelled through the anus, which is the last part of the alimentary canal. Anus is the last part of the alimentary canal. This passage of undigested food material from the body by the way of anus is called defecation. Food that passes out of the anus still contains considerable amount of proteins, fats and carbohydrates. Roughage are fibers of either carbohydrates or proteins. Health aspects of alimentary canal. The body's method of ridding itself of unwanted or harmful substances from the stomach is called vomiting. The peristaltic movements of the stomach and esophagus reverse their normal direction and the food is expelled. One of the most common cause for vomiting is overeating, especially when the food contains a high proportion of fat. Vomiting also occurs when we eat something very indigestible or poisonous. When we have greenish vomit, usually called as bilious or liverish, we get a bitter taste and it is often the result of having eaten rich meals over several days. The liver is unable to cope with the excessive fat and we get a feeling of nausea. A more serious form of indigestion is caused by stomach and duodenal ulcers. These conditions occur more often in people who may be described as hurried or worried. Thus, ulcers occur more often in busy people who get into the habit of hurrying over meals and rushing from one activity to another without sufficient rest. Those who are able to relax, who are not continually tensed up, and who live a slower pace seldom get ulcers. Indigestion is a general term used when there is difficulty in digesting food. Healthy people can usually avoid problems related to digestion by having simple, well-balanced meals, eating them in a leisurely manner, thoroughly masticating the food, avoiding taking violent exercise soon after eating food, drinking plenty of water, and having regular bowel movements. Proper functioning of all life processes require adequate amount of food in all living organisms. It is not just the intake of food, but its assimilation and expulsion of waste that play an important role. Intake of fiber-rich food avoids constipation. Our diet should be balanced one which contains proper amount of carbohydrates, proteins, vitamins, minerals, salts and fats. Two-thirds of world population is affected by food-related diseases. Some of them are suffering by consuming high calorific food. Most of them are facing various diseases due to lack of balanced diet. It is very important to know about food deficiency diseases. Eating of food that does not have one or more than one nutrient in required amount is known as malnutrition. Poor health, willful starvation, lack of awareness of nutritional habits, socio-economic factors are all the reasons for malnutrition in our country. Malnutrition is of three types. They are calorie malnutrition, protein malnutrition, protein calorie malnutrition. Kwashiorkor. Here in the picture, you can observe the children with swollen parts. This is due to deficiency of proteins in their diet. Symptoms. Body parts become swollen due to accumulation of water in the intercellular spaces. Very poor muscle development, swollen legs, fluffy face, difficult to eat, diarrhea, dry skin are the symptoms of kwashiorkor. Marasmus. This is due to deficiency of both proteins and calories. Generally, this disease occurs when there is an immediate second pregnancy or repeated childbirth. Symptoms are lean and weak, swelling limbs, less developed muscles, skin, diarrhea, etc. are the symptoms of this marasmus. Obesity. This is due to overeating and excess of energy intake. It is a big health hazard. Obese children, when grows, they will be target of many diseases like diabetes, cardiovascular, renal gallbladder problems. Junk foods and other food habits leads to obesity. Causes of obesity: overeating, medications, family history, lack of exercises, genetics, and pregnancy. And then the diseases are side effects of overeating: diabetes, cancer risk, mood disorder, heart diseases, reproductive disorder, liver disease, and hypertension. So in conclusion, we understood that kwashiorkor is the disease caused due to protein deficiency in the diet, and marasmus due to proteins and calorie deficiency in the diet. Obesity is due to overeating. Thank you all.